Let's talk about solitude and being alone with yourself. So, I think we all know that being alone too often is not a good thing. We need community, we need people in our lives, we need support, we need camaraderie, we need that kind of meaningful connection with other people. But we also know that solitude can be beneficial and necessary, that we need our alone time. But there's a third thing going on here, which I do not think many people understand, and I certainly can't really talk about it with anyone. And this is like a solitude that isn't really a solitude that is getting to the bottom of things, getting to the truth of things. And this is not an avoidance, even though people may see it that way. But this is a solitude of deep inquiry, deep contemplation. What is going on here? Who am I? What is the point of this? What is the truth of this? And this area has set me apart from the people I interact with, the people I know. Anyone, man, like, and it's made me very lonely and felt like I'm misunderstood. I had a mental breakdown. I've been sick of living this mundane life, not doing anything. So I booked a ticket to Melbourne one way to go tomorrow, and been thinking about this for a few days. The idea of just being this kind of nomad and just kind of figuring things out as I go along. And I told my mum, and she was kind of resistant towards that idea, and critical, and it kind of got me depressed. And doubted myself. Maybe I'm not doing the right thing, Fuck, dude. All these fucking solutions that people have for you, all this advice that people have for me, it's like, it's nothing new. I've thought about all of this shit before, but what I need is not this thing that people offer, their advice and these things that I could do. It's putting a band-aid on a fucking wound. My mum was saying, like, you know, is this just like, I think you're just like running away from your problems. And she was saying, like, why don't you do this or do this and do this? Why don't you volunteer? Or why don't you know, blah, 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 get a job or all this kind of shit. And it's like, of course I can see all these things as helping. There's obviously, these are healthy human things you can do, right? Get some exercise, have good quality friendships and some meaningful work and like some kind of service that you're doing for the world. It's like, I've thought about all this shit, and yeah, there's so much shit that I could do and I could try more and whatever. And I understand that all these things can help, but it's not fucking addressing something deeper that I've felt for so fucking long. And it's not just this kind of deep shit, but also added onto this deep suffering is another suffering, which is this loneliness and this feeling of being misunderstood, this feeling of being not seen, not heard, not validated. Because people don't understand. Most people are like, oh, there's a problem in my life, how do I fix it? Oh, I'll get a job, I'll meet new people, I'll make more friends, I'll get more money, I'll eat better, I'll exercise more, I'll meditate, I will travel, I will blah blah blah. All these things in the physical world, even in the spiritual world, in the meditation world, all these things you could do. Like, no. It's not enough for me. It's not fucking enough. And no one fucking sees that. No one fucking understands that. And it makes me so fucking lonely. And so my mum was saying some of these things, and I just got so fed up. I started throwing shit around my room. I just got fucking angry, man. I just started throwing shit, embodying that anger fully. I started fucking punching my walls. I fucked up my hands. Like, I tore down my whiteboard because I've got this fucking suppressed frustration within me, and this hurt and this sadness and this, and I don't know how to fucking let it out. I don't know what it is even about, and I do shit to try and let it out. Like, it's been spent the last 5 years making these videos trying to let something out. And I've known, like, that what I've known that this pain, whatever it is, is something that needs to be looked at and understood, because intuitively I know that to understand this pain, I think, is something very existential, and I think to understand it, to feel it, to let it come up, there is something on the other side of that, to go through it, to let it out, to feel it, to understand it. To come out of that, I think, is freedom and is truth. And so in my life, I have been trying to take this more renunciate path, and this is another thing people don't really understand, because they think I'm like, that this is what's causing me suffering, that I think that, like, being alone and not having much, not doing much, is causing me suffering, and I need to, you know, have some meaningful work and friendships and whatever. And of course, that shit helps. Like I said, nothing wrong with that. That shit helps. But I have been doing that. I have been trying to get out, interact with more people, connect more, do more meaningful work, my craft and shit. I've been, you know, and exercising, eating healthy. I've been doing this shit. It's not that I need more of it or something extra. So I recognize that I need to stop distracting myself. There's pain here, and I would drink alcohol, I'd smoke weed, watch videos and TV shows, and eat lots of junk food, and watch porn, and go on social media, and all this shit. And it's to the point now where I've cut out so much of that shit. The only thing that I really do now sometimes is I watch a little bit too much YouTube, or I eat a little bit too much food, but that's it. And I've gotten rid of a lot of shit in my room, and so intuitively I knew that, like, to just be with myself, this is what I need to understand the pain. And obviously to understand it, you need to let it surface. And obviously that's gonna be something that is gonna be painful to experience. And it's like, I just don't think many people are doing this. Everybody is distracting themselves. Everybody's distracting themselves, avoiding this existential, deep-seated pain from coming up to the surface and understanding it, feeling it, letting it in and letting it out. And so I had this fucking mental breakdown where I fucking got angry and just kind of, and then afterwards just bawled my eyes out. And this is what I want, you see. People are avoiding this, and people think that this is like an issue. It's like, oh, you've got an issue. No, man. This is actually necessary, because we've been fucked up by our conditioning. This society that we're brought into, the conditioning that we're programmed with, it makes us suppress so much fucking shit. And you should do this, you shouldn't do that, you should be that, you shouldn't be that. And we end up being these fucking mechanical robots, and we end up following a pre-packaged plan that society gives us. And there's this fucking energy within you that is you, your authenticity, that wants to come up, but also the fucking rage and the hurt wants to come up. That society also says, nah, can't experience that, or you can't experience much of it, can't let much of that out. And it's this hurt and this, rage, this sadness from not being able to live the life that we want. People say, get up, brush yourself off, keep moving. And we don't acknowledge grief enough in this society. And there's still so much fucking energy within me that's just... And I don't know how to fucking live in this world. And be true to myself. I think it can be done. I think there's people that have done it. It seems to me. But fuck, man, it seems to be lonely, and also I feel like other people have reconciled with this loneliness and come out the other end, but I don't fucking know, man. I don't want to keep fucking holding shit in. I want to be honest. I want to be honest and just say that this is what I'm feeling. And people need to see this, because this is not really me expressing this. This is not me having a hard time. What I am is a product of this fucked up society. And that is what you're watching right now. Because I try, It's not that I'm a fucking layabout that doesn't try, that doesn't think, that doesn't take action, that doesn't... that is just whining and complaining. Like, I fucking do my best, man. And I just want to fucking... I feel like this is something that should be shared. And I'm gonna share it. And it's fucking vulnerable. Fuck me, is this vulnerable sharing this? But I don't fucking care anymore, man. I don't know what else to say, but yeah. I'll be okay, don't worry about me. I'll see you next time.